Day 399 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 416, partition equals subset sum. The difficulty level is medium, but don't worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go in and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given the integer array nums, return true if you can partition the array into two subsets such that the sum of the elements in both subsets is equal, or false otherwise. All right, y'all, so that sounds pretty simple, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just so we can make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have the input nums equals an array of integers 1, 5, 11, and 5. The output is true. The explanation says the array can be partitioned as 1, 5, and 5, and 11. So as you can see, what we want to do is we want to see if we can partition the array into two subsets such that the sum of the elements in both subsets is equal. So in this case, if we take 1, 5, and 5, that equals 11, and then we have 11 right here. So our first subset would be 1, 5, and 5, which will give us 11. Then our second subset will be just 11, and that will be equal to 11 as well. So since this subset, the 155 subset, is equal to the 11 subset, or the sum of those integers are equal, then we return true. If they were not equal, or we cannot achieve equal subsets, then we return false. So it's important to understand that we're not returning the subsets themselves, we're just returning true or false if it is possible. So let's go ahead and take a look at example 2, where it's an example of where it is not possible. So in example 2, we have the input nums equals an array of integers 1, 2, 3, and 5. This time the output is false. Explanation says the array cannot be partitioned into equal sum subsets. So as you can see, we cannot create any subsets in this with these integers that will be equal to each other like we could up here. Like up here, we could take the 1, 5, and 5, and that'd be 11, and then we have the 11 as the second subset, and those sums are equal to each other. Whereas down here, it's impossible to do that. There's no subsets that we can create that will be equal to each other. So we're just going to return false because it's impossible. So now that we understand the question, y'all, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution is not that difficult at all. We will be doing some dynamic programming, so I hope you're excited about that. Now let's get into it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate the total sum of the array. So for that, we're going to say let array sum equal nums dot reduce, open up the parentheses, 0, comma, the plus sign. So what this is going to do is it's going to add up all of the numbers in the array starting from 0. Boom. Then we're going to come right here, and if the total sum is odd, it cannot be partitioned into two equal subsets. So to handle that, we're just going to say if array sum mod 2 does not equal 0, so exclamation point equals 0, that means it's odd, and then we could just return false right away because we know it's an odd number, and that means it cannot be partitioned or split up into two equal subsets. Boom. Now we're gonna create the target sum for each the target sum for each subset is half of the total sum. So we're gonna say let target equal array sum divided by 2. Boom. Now we're going to initialize our dynamic programming array where dp of I indicates whether a subset within the sum I is achievable. So for that, we'll declare a variable, call it dp. We'll set that equal to an array. We'll open up the parentheses. It's going to be repeating colon false. Sorry, y'all, that should say false, comma, count, colon, target plus 1. just like that. And then a subset with the sum of 0 is always achievable by taking no elements. So we could just say dp square bracket 0. We could just set that equal to true. Boom. Now we need to process each number in the input array. So for that, we're going to say for num in nums, we're going to open up the brackets. We're going to iterate backwards to avoid using the same number multiple times in the same iteration. So we're going to say for I in stride, then we're going to open up the parentheses from colon target comma through colon num comma by colon -1. We're going to open up the brackets and we are going to update dp of I and to see if we can form the sum I by either already being able to form sum I or adding the current number to a subset that forms sum I minus num. So for that, we just come right here, we say dp square bracket I, come outside the square brackets, equals dp square bracket I, or 2 vertical lines for or, dp square bracket I minus num, just like that. And we're going to create an early exit if we can already form the target sum. So for that, we could just come right here and we'll say if dp square bracket target, we could just come outside this these square brackets, open up the regular brackets and say break, just like that. And finally, last but not least, we need to return whether the target sum is achievable. So for that, we could just come right here and say return dp square bracket target, just like that. That should be all she wrote, you guys. Let's go ahead and run it, see how it runs before we submit it. Ooh, and it's accepted first try. That's what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and submit it. See what happens after we submit it. Okay, 19 milliseconds beats 54.75% of users. Not bad. We could definitely get those numbers up, but we'll worry about that as we continue down our LeetCode journey. Right now, we just want to be able to solve the problem that is presented to us. And I feel like this is a good, easy to understand solution for that, because that's important, because we'll be able to use what we've learned from this solution and future solutions, which will make us better LeetCoders as a whole. So with that being said, y'all, get one more look at the code. This the top part, this the rest of it. And yeah, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.